Scripture for every season. And today, our reflections for winter come from Job chapter 37. Derived from the King James Version, "For he saith to the snow, Be thou on the earth." Winter is not chaos. Snow does not fall randomly. Cold seasons do not arrive without instruction. Listen. God speaks, and creation obeys. Job chapter 37 is spoken by Elihu, the youngest of Job's friends. Job is suffering. He is confused. He is asking why. And Elihu does not explain Job's pain. Instead, he points to the greatness of God. Elihu says, derived from the King James Version, "At this also my heart trembleth." He describes thunder as the voice of God, a voice that is powerful, a voice that is uncontainable, a voice that does great things we cannot fully understand. Listen. God's voice is not weak. It is not uncertain. It is not confused. And just because we do not understand what God is doing does not mean He is not doing something great. Then Elihu says these words, derived from the King James Version, "For he saith to the snow, Be thou on the earth." Snow is not an accident. Rain is not random. Storms are not outside of God's control. Winter reminds us that even what feels cold, silent, or still is still under God's command. When life feels cold, when growth feels hidden, when warmth feels distant, God is still speaking. Elihu goes on to explain that God uses the seasons for purpose, sometimes for correction, sometimes for mercy, sometimes to cause us to stop and reflect. Every season has a reason, even the hard ones, even the seasons we would never choose. Elihu then asks Job questions that Job cannot answer. Can you command the clouds? Can you explain how the skies are spread out? Can you understand how God balances creation? And the answer is no, because we are limited. But God is not. Job's suffering did not come because God lacked wisdom. It came within a wisdom greater than Job could see. Elihu admits something deeply human. Sometimes we do not even know what to say before God. And in those moments, silence is not failure. Sometimes the most faithful response is trust. The chapter ends by lifting God higher than human judgment. Derived from the King James Version, the Almighty. We cannot find him out. He is excellent in power, excellent in justice, and never oppressive. God does not answer to humanity. Humanity answers to him. And this is where hope begins. Because if God commands the snow, then he also commands when it melts. If God governs the storm, then he also decides when it passes. If you are in a winter season right now, winter is not abandonment. Silence is not absence. Delay is not denial. What feels buried may be protected. What feels frozen may be preparing for growth. The same God who speaks to creation is watching over you. And when he speaks again, spring will come. Scripture for every season. And even in winter, God is sovereign. God is faithful. And God is near.